Hello and welcome to the video. I am back in Iceland. I was in India at the Olympiad, and well, it was a lot of fun, tons of fun. Some ups and downs when it came to the tournament, but overall a nice experience. Some things that could have been improved on, especially the fact that it was hard to meet people outside the playing venue, and you were kind of stuck at the hotel. So the social aspect was a little bit lacking compared to other Olympiads. Still got to meet a lot of old friends and make some new friends, which is always nice. And you met some people that complimented me on the YouTube channel, which was really encouraging. I tried to make some videos while I was in Chennai, but my schedule was really busy, and I kept trying to push it in, but it was really hard. But I think now that I'm home, I'm going to try to sort of get back to normal and make more videos. One of the people I met in Uganda was Shakira from Uganda, and she told me she really liked my pattern recognition videos, and that was really nice. Uganda is, if you have seen the movie Queen of Katwe, the hero of that movie was from Uganda as well. And I have to give congratulations to the Ugandan women's team. They got the prize. They had a prize this time at the Olympiad for the most stylistic teams. The teams were encouraged to wear some uniforms to represent their country's colors. And this is Team Uganda. They also had some nice, braids with the flag colors, yellow and red, pretty nice. So Shakira is there on the left on the women's team. And like I said, she mentioned that she liked my pattern recognition videos, which was really nice to hear, because that's sort of the videos that I'm most proud of and I put the most work in. And I watched some of her games after we got introduced to one another, and one of the games she actually executed a very nice pattern that I call the Ruy Lopez. It's the Ruy Lopez ending, a pattern having to do with the Ruy Lopez ending. And in that video I mentioned that it can't be applied to other openings. So of course the thing we're talking about is this particular opening, where white takes this, and basically white's plan is to get, at some stage, assuming black kind of does nothing, at some stage to play d4, and actually just play an ending. We can take with the knight, we can actually take with the queen. And the long-term plan is to play with these 4 pawns against these 3. And do watch the video if you haven't learned about that pattern, but this can also be applied to many openings, and one of them is the caro-kann. And here in this game that Shakira played against Bahrain, Shakira had white against Bahrain, and also took interest in this game because my team Iceland played against Bahrain in the first round, and while we won 4-0, it was sort of the first indication that many teams at the Olympiad had very underrated players. We were playing, my team is like seasoned 18, 1900, 2000 rated players, and we were having difficult games against unrated, against 1100, 1300, 1600. So it seems like the standard of play seems to be getting up. So I was interested to see how Team Bahrain was doing after we played them in the first round, because I thought they were quite underrated. And in this game Shakira had white against Zainab Alafoo from Bahrain. She played the caro-kann, and we follow a very trendy line for black. We have a main line here, knight c3, d takes e4. This is all well known, has been played tens of thousands of times. Knight f6, of course bishop f5 is the main move, but knight f6 is kind of the modern way to play these days, and you can see many games with Magnus Carlsen and many strong players playing this for black, taking on these double pawns. And this is solid, but also give black, some chances to play to get active play. But one of the downsides of this structure can be the long-term prospects if we trade stuff. So we follow still many games that have followed this path, castles, and rook e8 is the second most common move. c3, which Shakira played, second most common move. Knight d7, the most common move. Queen g2, the most common move, and in all games black has played knight f8. This is the usual transfer of the knight d7 to knight f8. So already here in the opening, unrated player from Bahrain, he's playing very topical, most are openings. I believe black is very often putting this knight out, sometimes the queen comes to c7, and black is quite solid. Here's sort of the first moment where I stopped in the game, looking at it now, because white just played queen g2, and also plays queen c3. I'm guessing the idea is that now that the knight moved to d7, which maybe she wasn't familiar with to begin with, is that now after queen b3, you can't really move the bishop. So I guess queen b3 is aimed against black developing the bishop, and we see that further here after queen c7, which now, well, it's a normal move in the line, but it also protects the pawn on b7. So now the bishop can get out, but Shakira plays h3 to limit what the bishop can do, so h3. Now the bishop can only go to e6, but then we go ahead and initiate trades. So I'm wondering if Shakira had, this pattern in mind. When you have this structure, your dream is to get an ending here for white, where you have these 4 pawns against these 3 pawns. And meanwhile, black's majority is easily contained. As you see in the video, the pattern recognition video on the Ruy Lopez exchange ending, white can easily set up the pawns like this pawn to f3, and there's never going to be a pass pawn. I call this the triangle, which is an easy way to stop the majority. So the game continues, rook e4, bishop e3, and Shakira, being the higher rated player, she still goes for trades here. She plays bishop d2. So I'm guessing she must have had, the majority in mind here to play for the majority. Knight takes e1, queen e7, king f1, and I think objectively positions should still be around equal. Black should be able to defend, probably with best play. But I think here's the first sort of mistake that black makes, knight f4. Now first of all, this initiates another trade, which is good for white, because then we can trade, we can play for the queenside majority. And also I think you need the knight for more flexibility in your defense. You might have some counterplay in the future. You might reroute the knight to the queen side to help show things up. And the thing is, this bishop doesn't play really well. We have these pawns sort of constricting the bishop. The bishop is not really attacking anything, because we can always play knight d3 if the bishop tries to come in from back and attack us like this. And again, one more pair of pieces coming off the board. d5, strong move. Just trying to get rid of some pawns and create more weaknesses. Also, some ideas of the back rank being weak. But now bishop d2. And Shakira plays the move knight f3, which is good, second best move. But I think the most topical move would have been queen e2 here, which would have been beautiful. And this more or less forces a queen trade. If the queen moves, you lose the bishop, so you have to take. And now you sort of have to take on e1, because if you move the bishop, the ending is probably hopeless as well. But, well, actually they're all hopeless. If you take here, I'll take on c6 actually, assertion Zug. Bishop can't stop the pawn, and this is an easy win, 3 against 2. You just bring the king, make a pass pawn, and the game takes care of itself. And similar stuff actually happened in the game. After knight f3, bishop c1, Shakira took on c6, and then advanced the pawn to b4, queen d6, and queen d4. And it seems like starting from bishop c4, white was well aware that she wanted to trade pieces, and that's what she did. And that's in fact very beneficial for her position, because of the queenside pawn majority. And another trade by black, but this is one trade too many. And even though black gets the c3 pawn, white easily takes care of this weakness, plays b5, fixes this weakness, and wins. Because the bishop can't protect the pawn. Even if the bishop could protect the pawn, even if this bishop was right here, white is still winning. We can easily advance the majority, and it should be an easy win. In the game, yeah, white just took a pawn on a7, and now it's 2 connected pass pawns and nothing black can do here. And Shakira quickly wrapped up, won the piece, and another usual pattern, the knight from behind, protecting the pawn, so you can never take the knight because the pawn will run, so an easy win. So I hope that the influence from the pattern recognition was at work here. If not, maybe subconsciously, who knows, but in any case, I hope the videos have been helpful, and I'll keep on making them. It was great encouragement to meet Shakira and Steven and some other people that had some nice words about my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm gonna keep making videos, and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye bye.